Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. So I am going to share with you a message that I received. The message read like this: hello my brother, can you please also post for me? I do enjoy the shows that you put up on YouTube. I am one of your subscribers, so I felt that I should also share my own story. What happened to me is that after my mom's burial, I left Africa for Canada. Then there was this other day, I had just finished bathing and I was sitting on the bed. I don't know what exactly I was doing on my phone, but suddenly there was a hand that grabbed me from underneath the bed. Ever since that hand tried to grab me from underneath the bed, strange things have been happening in my life. I try to tell people my story, but I just sound as if I am a mad woman. My story started like this. When I graduated from university, then I got an offer here in Canada. Then I migrated from my home country, which is in Africa. When I got here, I worked so hard. Then I got my permanent citizenship. Me and my husband, we fell in love here in Canada. We are both from different African countries and we had our own stable family. Then my mom passed away in 2016. I had to travel back to Africa for a funeral. Upon my arrival, I found out that my mother had said that she didn't want it to be buried in the city. She wanted to be buried back in her own village. So we had to travel back to her village. But my brother, if I can tell you that strange things happened from the moment that we took her body from the mortuary. And whilst we were still at the mortuary, strange things happened. It started with the guy who was busy preparing my mom's body. He started to complain and say that he feels as if someone had slapped him from behind. So he asked his own supervisor if there was someone else who could come and finish up preparing my mom's body. Then the second co-worker, he complained and he said that he was having a very bad headache. In the end, if I tell you, you won't even believe me that me and my sister were the ones who bathed our mom's dead body. Then we dressed her up. The guys from the mortuary were just standing aside giving us instructions. They didn't want to touch my mom's dead body. It was a traumatic experience right there, standing in front of your mom's dead body, looking at her, looking at the woman who had given birth to me, now just laying on the table lifeless. It was the most traumatic experience that has ever happened to me. Even though I am a medical doctor, I am used to seeing dead bodies, but there is a different feeling washing a dead body of the person who gave birth to you. And also in our culture, this thing that we did, it is not allowed. We were told that we were not supposed to wash our own mother. We were supposed to look for her friends. Her friends were the one who was supposed to wash her body. What we did, we told that it was a taboo, but we had no option because we asked our mom's sister and all of them, they refused. They said that they cannot do it. So it was only me and my sister who had to do it. My brother, he said he could not do it because he was a man. There was no way that he was going to look on the naked body of our mother. After we had finished cleaning our mother, as we were leaving the hospital, it began to rain. It was raining a lot. I still remember my brother driving. He looked up into the sky and he said, "But God, why have you decided to open the floodgates of heaven at this very moment?" Because the country from where I come from, it is the country in Africa that received the most rainfall. There was mud everywhere. I don't even remember how many times we got stuck along the way. What was happening is that first, we'll have a breakdown. Then after my brother had fixed the car, we'll travel for a short distance. Then the cars will get stuck in the mud. The distance whereby we were supposed to travel for only 5 hours, we traveled that distance in 16 hours. That experience was such a traumatic experience that I ended up having a big fight with my sister's husband because he himself is a white guy. So he shouted and he said, "Oh, God damn it. how much I hate Africa. So at that moment, because it was a tense situation, I thought that he meant that he hated Africa because he was married to a black woman, and the reason why we were stuck, it is because he was married to my sister. We had a huge fight, but later he apologized. Along the way, a lot of people took advantage of us when they found out that we were using US dollars instead of the local currency. So if our car got stuck in the mud, someone would just charge us a lot of money because they knew that we had no other option. It was a terrible experience. Finally, we arrived at my mom's village. We buried her. Then we had to come back. Me and my own husband, we flew back to Canada. Then my sister and her husband, they had to fly back to America. When we were back in Canada, I soon realized that I was more lonely than ever before. My husband tried all that he could to make sure that I felt comfortable. Even my kids, they tried to comfort me, but I just didn't want to come out of my own bedroom. I would spend 2 weeks without ever coming out. I'll just come out maybe to grab something by the fridge, then just going back to bed. My kids will ask me, what is it that's troubling you? How can we make you feel comfortable? But I kept on thinking about what had happened whilst we were still in the mortuary. I started to blame my own relatives. I would ask myself, but why would my relatives refuse to birth my own mother? Why did they leave that heavy burden on us as children? Then I just texted them all and I told them that starting today we are no longer relatives. Me and my sister, we even had a fight of our own. Little did I even realize that I was sinking into depression. Then I also blocked my sister who is in America. My brother, yes, I do speak with him, but I only speak with him when I feel like. My own husband even warned me and said that this what you're doing, you're falling into depression. But I did not even realize. I realized that I had fallen into depression after my husband had started to cheat on me. I found out that there was a used condom in the car. When I confronted him about that used condom, then he came out into the open and he said that you and I, when was the last time that we ever had sexual intercourse? How do you expect me to live? And I told him that I am still grieving for my mother, and he asked me, for how long should I wait for you? And I had no answer to his question. Then he said to me, you see, let us just get a divorce. Then just like that, we were divorced and I was left alone. He took the kids and now I'm just left home alone. This is the part where the hand reached out from underneath the bed and tried to grab my leg. I don't know if it is depression or maybe it's the medication that I am on. I am just looking for answers. Right now, I feel as if maybe the spiritual world is there. I always dream of my mother. She tries to tell me something, but I just cannot make out the words that are coming out of her mouth. Is there anyone that can help me out so that she can speak with me so that I can understand what is it that she is trying to tell me? What happened is that I had gone out, then I came back and I told myself, let me take a bath. Whilst I was still in the shower, my phone rang, so I dried myself up. Then I walked into my bedroom. As I was sitting on the bed, I still don't remember what is it I was doing on that phone on that day. Then all of a sudden, I felt this hand grabbing my leg, and that hand was trying to pull me down there. It just was so terrifying. Then all of a sudden it just stopped. There was silence in the room. Then I started to scream. I screamed so much that my neighbor ran and started knocking on the door, and then I opened for him. I told him what had happened. He himself, he ran into my bedroom. Then he looked underneath the bed. Then he said that there is nothing. Maybe you're just hallucinating. That night I could not sleep. I kept on dreaming. If I would fall asleep, I would dream of my mother. Then she will enter the room with other people that I didn't know. But these people will be so angry at my mother. Then I'll wake up. When I'll open my eyes, I'll see these people. But these people, when they'll see that I have seen them, they will jump straight into the walls. It was quite a scary night for me. I then called my husband. because I was so scared. I told him the whole story of the arm trying to grab me from underneath the bed and everything that had happened that night. It was around 3 a.m. Then I had a knock on the door. I asked who it was. Yes, it was my ex-husband. He then entered the house and he told me that he wanted to make sure that I was safe. At that time, me and him, we were busy in court fighting for the custody of our child. As I was explaining to him exactly what had happened, all of the people that I was seeing in the room with my mother, he himself, he was busy with his phone video recording me. I only found out when we were in court. On that video, I looked as if I was high on drugs. That is how I lost the custody of my children. His lawyer then used that video to make sure that the judge does not give me full custody of our children. My brother, all this that happened to me is leading me deeper and deeper into depression. All that I'm asking for is for these nightmares to stop. These faces, I still see them every time when I fall asleep. I just wake up and I see someone in the room with me. Then that person just disappears. I'm still trying to fight in court for the custody of my children because those children are the only reason why I'm still alive. This is my own story, my brother. That was a message that I received from one of our listeners. A story is such a sad story. There is also this other message I received. This sister of ours was saying that she died and then in her death, she saw that she was being taken to hell. So I am going to read that story that she shared with me in the following episodes to come.